Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm going to toss this one over to Josh and Coco by extension. You're muted.
My cat's with me right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, Kagurabachi, chapter number 76.
Banquet.
Thank you. Alternate title. It is over.
It's not over. I know what you're talking about. It's not over.
Not for our bet,
okay.
But for all the games.
Oh, yeah.
For all the games and impetuity. Yeah. Coco knows too. So anyway, last week shit got kind of crazy. We placed the wrong burgundy bet. That was last week, right? Or was that a couple weeks ago?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, Chris and I placed the wrong burgundy bet. A re-up of thinking that, Samura is going to die. So this is a pretty high stakes arc right now for New Jump City, ATM. So, Anyway, last week, Samura came up on the scene, ready to shut shit down. The seal was after the seal fully broke on him and Iori. But in the process of Samura trying to take care of everyone, trying to kill the swordsman, Hirohiko was able to activate his enchanted blade, which created massive illusions for him to escape. Although Chihiro chased his ass down the hallways and ran into him, and that's where we're at this week. So. I feel like they did fight a little bit.
They clashed swords in the last chapter.
Yeah, they didn't really. Okay, thanks. I was forgetting aside. So Hirohiko notices how Chihiro's like resisting his enchanted blades like techniques, like with his ears being strengthened by Nishiki. And for some reason he says, "Oh, so Samura is your real opponent. You're not wasting your real power to kill me." And Chihiro just looks at him like, stares. Hirohiko stares right back at him, kind of menacing. Not like I don't know, like a child asking you if you're gonna play with them or something like that. And he's like, "Yep, that decides it. I'm gonna kill Samura first." And I'm like, "Yes!"
Josh was like,
"Yes, that's right, Hirohiko.
Go get him.
Go get him." So his sorcerer buddy's like, for real? And he was like, I want Chihiro to fight me for real. What did Yura say? And he said, it's up to me. And it's basically fine if I do that as long as I have the Tobimune. So he's like, "Doki doki." And he tells Toto, that's her name, tells Toto to get the fuck out of there. As Hirohiko draws the blade again and says, "Play." That's where we get a description of, we get a commentary on the enchanted blades, how they all, aside from the Shinichi that has many different techniques, each of the enchanted blades had 3 core techniques. So one of the Kumiyari's abilities, which is the sword that Hirohiko has that's fighting Chihiro, causes hallucinations. Play enables the user to freely control the objects around them. Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts manipulating the corpses that are like all around the hotel that have been already, the corpses that are dead. And that's pretty intense. So they start chasing after Chihiro. And he's like, this is wild, but I ain't scared of them. I'm just going to chop them up. And then he feels a weird sensation as Hirohiko says to himself, "Well, I understand why you might underestimate me," speaking of Chihiro. "You've already beaten me once, twice, actually." As we see like the hallway start to warp and shift around, and Chihiro's really surprised because he thought he had a protection against that in the first place, but the banquet is just way more powerful. As he says, even with Nishiki as a counselor, his equilibrium, uh, and he's just surprised. He says this freak is already mastering the enchanted blade, and you know you got to give it to Hirohiko. He is figuring that shit out pretty fast. That weirdo, that sick guy. He's still attacking up on the roof too. He's going all out to try to finish this fast. Hirohiko is dying. He's leaking blood. He's coughing out bad blood.
Yeah.
It's like I lost twice already. Twice. So if I want to make him use his full power against me, I need to show him utter determination. I need to kill Samura. I don't think this is really what's happening, but we get this nice little picture of Hirohiko's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Looming over like the Kyoto hotel as if he's like puppet master and everything going on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's affecting everyone on the roof. All of the corpses being controlled by Hirohiko start to burst out from the elevators. The Masumi trio are wondering where that the other swordsman sorcerer is at that was with Todo and Hirohiko. And one of the mini Masumi man is like, oh, he bounced as soon as Samura came.
He said,
we gotta fight our way out. Yeah, he ain't want no parts of that. He's a smart guy. So yeah. So like I said, they're on the roof. Samura knows he has to defend his daughter, but he has all of these memories popping up in his head, and with all the memories of his daughter, all of like the intense feelings of sadness and despair and fear that he had for what may happen to his daughter, especially in this situation, if not just generally for the future. And Hirohiko knows that. He's playing on that specifically. So this is a supposedly really bad, technique against Samura. Anyway, yeah, he's trying to fight his best against all of the corpses, but all of the images of his traumatic stress is getting in the way of him being able to focus. As a matter of fact, the illusion gets the illusion gets through to him so bad that he teleports into like a room, and when he opens the door, like he thinks he hears Iori like crying, and he opens the door and it's some fucking swordsmen coming after him. They stab him real quick, get a couple stabs in on him. Chihiro notices that, I think. Or he notices that Hirohiko gets excited because he says, "Gotcha!"
Got him.
And it's like, what else could he be talking about? And then all of the corpse swordsmen went to attack Iori, and Samura throws himself in the way and gets stabbed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different swords right in front of Iori. His mini Masumi man is like, "Mr. Samura!" The guy that killed your buddies. Anyway, the thing... So the narrator says the thing that finally broke his hallucination was the pain of a fatal wound. Here he goes like, "Haha, that's what you get for stalling. I'm the only one who's free!" Exclamation marks. He's like, "It's all or nothing now, Chihiro. Come at me." And Chihiro's like, "Why? ... As we see a bunch of black crow feathers start to leak out from the doors and from the hallway behind him. The same direction that a bunch of corpse soldiers were coming in to attack Chihiro from. He says, "How could you underestimate a master like him?" And a concerned, lectured rhetoric, as a matter of fact. And Chihiro looks Hirohiko looks on and sees just blackness and crow feathers down the hallway. We cut to the roof. All the corpse warriors are done and dealt with, and Hirohiko and the Masumi trio and her classmate, they're all just chilling. As we finally see what the other sorcerer is up to, the swordsman sorcerer that bounced. And he's like, I can't tell what's what. I thought Hirohiko was dead. Then he was wielding an enchanted blade. And then Samura showed up, and Hirohiko and the guys got killed, but now they're gone. He said, and now. I'm taking pauses because this is tough. Samura received 9 slashes, a fatal wound. Then they withdrew the swords and he was sliced up, almost into pieces, mind you, right? As he says, I'm the only one who should get hurt. Suzaku! He uses one of his 3 sword abilities, which heals. Wounds are the fuel of this flame. We cut back to Hirohiko and Chihiro in the hallway, and we hear a voice emerging from the blackness. You're a lively one, friggin' brat. That's enough. That's enough out of you.
That's enough out of you.
As we get one of the sickest one-page spreads, a Samura cracking his eyes open slightly as they lit a flame. And he's angry. He said, that is enough. And that is what I meant by it is over. Brian, what were your thoughts on this chapter?
RGC.
Yeah, RGC for me too. What do you think, Josh? Yeah, this is all 3 of our really good chapters of the week, making it a unified, really good chapter of the week.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Goddamn. What a fucking fire ass ending to the chapter. I'm curious what the limits to this healing thing is, because he killed Chihiro and brought him back to life with this ability. So I'm just wondering whether there's what the stipulations are. Is there any drawbacks to this? But man, that final few chapters with the feathers slowly filling up the hall as he says what he says. Oh, chills. God, this series is so good. Hirohiko is actually turning out to be a really, really big fucking problem in this arc, because it's really fucking up with everybody's kind of perception of reality. So literally anybody is weak against him, even a sword master as powerful as Samura. Shit, man, I'm very curious how this is going to play out, because Chihiro is kind of caught between these two fighting now, because Samura really just wants to scrap with Hirohiko now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Chihiro gets out of this one in one piece. No pun intended. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this was a crazy roller coaster of emotions for me. First of all, we do, as Josh mentioned at the top of the recap, we do have a standing wrong burgundy bet. If you guys don't listen to the whole show and only listen to Kagurabachi stuff, it's a bet where, we put up competing theories against each other, and whichever is proven right or closest to right is the winner. The loser has to be referred to as wrong burgundy for an entire episode. I'm on the side of the bet that says that Samura will not die. at the end of this arc, and Josh is once again taking uh, the prop that Samura will die at the end of this arc. Now, I feel a little less easy about this one, to be honest. And even still, I still feel a little bit of uneasiness. I don't think that I'm scot-free yet. But this chapter really had my heart, like, jumping. Because I did see Samura take 9 stabs from 9 different blades to the chest. And when I tell you, my heart sank when I first saw that. I was like, whoa, no, my first L, no. But then he healed. That shit was crazy. I was immediately like, yes, yeah. Never give up. Never surrender. Motherfucker healed himself from certain death. And then came and gave me one of the most iconic victory poses I've ever seen. It's not a victory. I haven't won yet. The arc has to end before we can declare a winner. So it's still possible Samura can die. All that notwithstanding, though, this chapter was incredible. Kagurabachi has been on a fucking, 5-chapter heater at this point. I think it's 1 RGC for the last 5 weeks in my book, at least. And it's been incredible. Hirohiko, I wasn't like crazy about Hirohiko as a character. I thought he was cool, but like he never really stuck out to me. But this last chapter has really like solidified him as an actual like great villain in my book. I just love his sense of determination and the scale of threat that he poses on the world. Now that he has got an enchanted blade, he's just going crazy with it, and just this natural skill that he has with swords is really just translating really well with this. I really like that, this is more than ever just showing us how much of a problem these enchanted blades are, that even the Kumayori, which is not necessarily a super offensive blade, is still a huge problem to deal with and comes with so many like challenges because it doesn't necessarily do something directly to the person they attack yet, although we haven't seen the third ability yet. But yeah, it's still just such an issue. And Hirohiko is doing so much, even though he's at death's door. So I could only imagine when he's at like full strength using it, what it would be like. Samura, of course, I mean, coolness personified. This guy pulled off an ace, but lived. And this last page is just a testament to Hokozono, I believe his name is, the mangaka for this. Hokazono, yes. His art. I think the thing that's special about Hokazono is that he's very good at lighting in a scene. Like he's done this kind of thing before with this splash page. He's done it before, but he's able to really show that like very dim light and personify that in black and white, which is very difficult through the use of like screen tones. And I think that's just so cool. And this splash page is no exception. It's just pure art. Love it very much. But that's all I got for Kagurabachi this week. I'm excited to see how it'll pay this off. I don't even know. Now I'm doubtful Hirohiko makes it out of this one, because this guy's pissed. Very excited though. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Yeah, like I said, it was the RGC for me too. I wanted to be so mad because I too went through a roller coaster of emotions. I thought I had it, just for it to be slipped right away from me. And then I couldn't even be that upset because that last page was so sick. I went from being upset about Samurai still being alive to being genuinely concerned for Hirohiko. Like, yo, is this it for him as a character? Is he going to cut him up into pieces, like dice him? Like, how is he going to recover from that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I have not a lot of confidence one way or the other.
Yeah.
Especially not for this Ron Burgundy bet.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it did make me feel better, but I still am uneasy. I'll tell you what. I don't
I
think
hope
it's over.
that he showed. I'll tell you this: if he somehow, I don't know how bad, he's showing his abilities. He's gonna get a moment to do another thing that's real cool. I feel like he's gonna be around. I feel like they're gonna, of course, they're gonna be able to get the Shinuchi. These guys, fuck Yura and this dude, right? Of course, they're gonna be able to get the Shinuchi, and they're gonna need some strong people. And then, like you said, I think he's gonna die around that time fighting against the Shinuchi, not in this situation. And that's disheartening. I wish I had the foresight for making these risky decisions, but it is what it is. Um, that last page, I mean,
Legendary.
that again could have won the RGC alone.
Hall of Fame
if there was nothing else
page.
happening. It was incredible. The build up to it,
The eyes opening
yeah.
looks so cool. It's the fire coming out of the eyes as he's opening, out of the scar, through the eyes. So fucking cool. So good.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Definitely.
I don't got much more to say, man. Great chapter.
So
Great
good.
action.
So good. guys.
Hirohiko fucked around and is probably going to find out.
Yeah, he's on the wrong end of Fafo.
Hopefully the swords. Yeah.
He's on the business end of a Fafo moment.
Yo, I'm just hoping that. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, business end of a Fafo. Yeah, he's on the cusp, and I'm hoping one of these other swordsmen just come in and kill Samura right after. Please. I don't want another L.
Gosh. All right. Are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't want another L.
Kagurabachi, so good. Possibly going to give Josh another L. Let's move on.